The film Infernal Affairs is a 2002 original Hong Kong film directed by Andrew Lau, while The Departed is an American remake by Martin Scorsese in 2006. Just due to the fact of where the films were made, caused for cultural differences between the two, and it can be seen in the style and the final product. They still share the same plot, but with a difference in budget of about $84 million. The budget on The Departed was $90 million, and well, you can do the math. Actually, I shouldn't do that. Their budget was $6 million on Infernal Affairs. Anyways, The Departed won 2 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Director, but the original Infernal Affairs didn't gain the same amount of traction. You can see the cultural differences between the two films from the very beginning. In Infernal Affairs, the opening scene, you can see the religious influence in the statues and references to Buddha, along with those opening quotes. The Departed, on the other hand, is inspired by Italian filmmaking, which is seen through the choice in music. Compared to Infernal Affairs, which uses more pop music and Asian music. This is due to the director's influence, and Martin Scorsese is in fact Italian. Andrew Lau is also influenced by the Asian style of filmmaking, which is seen through the stylistic shots, cinematography, and black and white flashbacks. In terms of how effective each film was, I must say both are good, but The Departed is just more flushed out. One of the most obvious reasons is the screen time. The Departed is 50 minutes longer. Most of that time is dedicated to character building and building relationships. Still, it is the grittier and darker film of the two. Infernal Affairs relies more on drama to push the narrative rather than violence. It can be especially seen through the death of the police captain in each film. If you compare the two, in Infernal Affairs, sad music begins to play, Yan puts his hands to his face in shock, and flashbacks ensue between the two of them. The Departed is more violent, and immediately after the death, the tension in the scene increases and an action scene breaks out. This is one of the reasons that The Departed was so liked by everyone, because in Hollywood blockbusters, good action scenes are essential, and when you mix that with top-notch directing, an A-list cast, and a great story, then it's bound to be good. Another thing that The Departed does better is realize the depth of Leonardo DiCaprio's character Costigan, compared to Tony Leung's character Yan. Scorsese dedicated more time to the complex situation that the character is in and how it is affecting him. Infernal Affairs only offers a scene with the police chief on a rooftop, and that is full of exposition, compared to several scenes dedicated to just character building for Costigan. For example, in The Departed, the director chose to have the mother of Costigan's character die, and Mark Wahlberg's character was pushing him about it in order to disclose personal details about him. But in Infernal Affairs, no such details or personal details were provided about the character, and he was seen as more professional. Leonardo DiCaprio was just able to convey the isolation and fear that someone in his position would be living in. Another actor that stole the show was Jack Nicholson. His character was more flushed out than his counterpart Sam as well. His relationship with Costigan and Sullivan feels more in-depth and real than Sam's relationship with their counterparts. Once again, The Departed gives the characters more depth in the fact that Sullivan is given a personal link to Costello because he sees him as a father figure, which just adds more depth to the film. Instead of opening with the recruitment of the mole for the gang, Scorsese decided to give the mole a better relationship with the gang leader so that it feels more realistic. But on the other hand, Frankie Costello is also seen as more intimidating and is characterized through red lighting around him in certain scenes. Essentially, Infernal Affairs is just scratching the surface of the potential of the story. It is not bad, but The Departed asks the moral questions and shows the social context that Infernal Affairs skips over. To compensate for that, 2 sequels were made to the Hong Kong film, but that is not included in the comparison. Scorsese was just very smart with what he chooses to change in an already good film to make it better. By simply adding deeper relationships, some comedy, action, and Hollywood magic, the film was turned into a multi-Oscar winning one.